Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Sagittarius. So the sun has now, or the earth has moved in such a way that we see behind the sun the constellation Leo, and the moon also has moved, so we see now behind it the constellation Sagittarius. Here comes the good tarot and here the medicine woman tarot. And in our experience of two fire signs coming together, particularly this is fire and air, and this is fire and fire, we will experience maybe some moments where we want to break out, where we want to roar, where we want to literally be like, I had enough, right? So always remember that you searching for the equilibrium, the melting, because this is the German word for melting of the opposites, the water and the fire. And so here we see how Leo, or the lion, is roaring into the left spinning path, which is the soul path. It's almost like it's calling the soul, and she's literally saying, yeah, I see you, I hear you, and nevertheless, I gotta now combine the dualities, right, and make it happen that I don't be consumed by just this wild aspect of mine. And so ruled by the sun and ruled by Jupiter, the 5th house of joy, and then the 9th house of philosophy. Just be aware that this is a very intense moment, right? Because this happens only once a year. This moment where the sun is in Leo and the moon is in your sign, right? It doesn't happen once a month. It's happening only once a year. And so this is the moment where you're gonna be really careful. The yoga position for Leo is the lion's breath, and the position here, in a way, Simhasana, right? The lion's pose. And so we have to also come into our sense to not be consumed by the wild side. And for you, I gave you Paschimottanasana, the intense forward bend, where I meet the upper and the lower, and I let go of the past so that I can melt the things and really come into my center. The court card for you is the Knight of Wands. Here in this deck, it's the eagle, the totem of the wands, and you can see that he is not on a horse anymore. He is flying now up in the sky, and his direction is towards the human path. If your birthday is between November 13 and December 11th, then this is your court card. If not, you can look in the description below. I have listed all of them. Back to the last reading, where you had Cancer Sun highlighting Sagittarius Moon. When Gemini Sun gave your full moon the light, you surrendered. So it's speaking about the reading before this one, right? And you can see there are moments of recognizing that you have to sometimes surrender, particularly with Gemini Sun, which is giving you actually the full moon. And I think that's what happened in this moment. You had the full moon that brought to you so much light that you surrendered, right? The Gemini Sun gave your full moon here the power, and so now we're gonna see what Leo is wanting to tell you. I'm gonna pick one more card, an overall card of the Lifruma Healing Oracle. It's my latest deck that I bought, and it has the rune alphabet embedded in the cards. And so let's have a look what this deck wants to tell you, this healing deck, right? Wane, weathercock, or fluctuate. The number 56. So you can stop the video and read it for yourself, and so you can dive deeper into the meaning. The weathercock knows not which way to blow, so it flutters, while the next fool mutters and spins on a pin with all the flags and hues of others' views flapping in the wind. Dressed, obsessed, and oppressed by the liveries of any thoughts but your own, exit the influence of others, whether the changes of thought, by using love as your compass. Be yourself socially, brave out life. So it is kind of like a weathercock that are up on the houses to give you the direction of the wind. And vain, sometimes we are vain, and that's what the cock is sometimes, right? He's vain. He's like, okay, I am here and I'm giving the directions. So we'll see. You fly high as an eagle, and you don't need to be a cock, a peacock maybe, or a cock in general. You don't need to be vain. You are the eagle, so just remember that. Good, so let's begin. On the position of the Fool comes the Six of Pentacles. That's the constellation Moon in Taurus. Giving and taking, exactly what you have here in this beautiful cups that you give and take. And you are here being faced by truly being in your center, in an equal, helping others. So you will get, and she is giving the seed out into the land, and she is a state of consciousness that says the wind that carries the seed, the wind that moves here the weathercock. And so 6 seeds have fallen, and 6 pentacles have the 6 of Gemini, and Gemini Sun gave your full moon the light, you surrendered. So here speaks Gemini through the 6 of Pentacles to you, even though it's the moon in Taurus. Recognize that you are getting an important message, and that your higher consciousness is understanding that message. So act upon it. Be in your center. Be always in the center of masculine and feminine, gentle and wild. That's what every card is speaking about in the tarot, right? We have to come into our center. On the position of the Magician comes the beauty way, the number 4. The beauty way is realizing that this lotus flower has gone through the mud, through the dirt, and now it's floating above the water in the air consciousness. It went through the deep emotions, and you see here the direction of this firefly is bringing you an understanding that when you come into the one path, which is the path of love, of consciousness, of centeredness, of equality, then you are recognizing that 4 and 1 creates a 5, the 5 senses, and the 5 senses are here to teach you always the lessons, so that you can grow and learn more and become more of a gentle soul. And that is why we're here in this dimension, right? To use the beauty way to experience when you give and take equally, then the path of beauty comes to you, because the magician is living the path of beauty. He is that potential, right? As you can see the word here, the potential of saying, I am the path of beauty. Then on the position of the High Priestess comes the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is Mars in Aries. And Aries is a fire sign as well. And so there's a 2-2 portal, because she's the number 2. She's the seeker, and she seeks only that which brings her light from deep within. The intuition is giving you inspiration to recognize that crossing 2 wands and holding them in the center is where exactly now this firefly is flying off that beautiful lotus flower. It's that moment where we recognize deep within us, right? Because we have the 4, and the 4 is connected with the pentacles, right? The pentacles are earthly matter, and the mother is always connected with the number 4, and the 4 is also the emperor. But now when I put the magician above, it's almost like the magician is here, the firefly is the one that is like, yes, I am the potential to create then the 5. Here's the vanishing, and the 5 is flying away. And so here with the 2-2, it's a 2-2 portal, but I could calculate it together. It's a 4, right? Which I don't. I don't calculate portals together because they are portals. And so you get a portal to recognize that this path of beauty needs action, intuitive action, action that is not just like acting out, it's action that is well thought through. And so that is speaking to you through the 2 of Wands. Then on the position of the Empress comes the Magician. So here comes a 4 as well. The 3 and the 1 becomes a 4 again, right? So we have a 6, and we have a 4 with the Magician, of course, a 5. But then we have the 2-2, and now we have a 4 again. So she is giving birth. She is the fulfillment of all wishes, of all that we can bear, and that we can actually give birth to. She is fertile, and she gives back. She is bounty. She is bounty in then the magic that the magician has here on his table. He has all 4 elements, again the 4, and he is the 5th element, right? And so that's why here on the beauty way he has become this beautiful firefly that is flying off the lotus flower, and he is the 5th element, the air, going up into the 6th sense, right, which is then the 3rd eye. So here the magician comes being brought to you by the bounty of the state of consciousness of the Empress, because she gives birth to all creation. So whatever it is that you want, you are asking to be a magician. You're asking to be magic. And in that magic you have again the 4 elements. When you are recognizing that there is a 4 here, but there's also a 4 up here. When you're recognizing that the 6 is that equilibrium between the dualities, right? Body, mind, and soul. Body, mind, and soul in the masculine and in the feminine. Then comes on the position of the Strength card of Leo, comes here the Page of Water. And the Page of Water are all 3 water signs, which is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Currently, we're going from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, and that's the left spinning wobble the Earth does to the left in 25,800 years, that we divide through the 12 zodiac signs, and we get an age of 2,150 years. So here speaks the age of Pisces to you. You recognize that the soul path to the left and of course to the right is the human path, which is then the spin the Earth does to the right in 24 hours. You recognizing that emotionally you learning through Leo and the Sun to come into your center, because you have transitioned through the muddy water into this beautiful flower, and you have recognized that action, right action, action that encompasses the dualities of masculine and feminine, leads to the one, leads to the magic, and then leads to all three water signs. And the water signs are always those signs that bring to you emotions that are important so that you can learn. And then you're not just here in the 56, you are 5 senses, and the 6 with here this 6, right, which comes after because this one came first. So there is a 6-6 portal here, and calculated the 56 is an 11, and that's a 1-1 portal. And the emotions are important, that you are recognizing that here it's saying exit the influence of others, whether the changes of thought by using love as your compass. Be yourself socially. Love, right? Here the 3 water signs bring love in 3 different ways. Cancer and Scorpio and Pisces are different bodies of water, and here comes this young generation that's speaking to you directly and saying, well, become yourself now a gentle soul, become yourself the beauty way, allow yourself to uplift, right? Allow yourself to grow, because then on the position of the eagle, of the Knight of Wands, comes the 8 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Pentacles calculated together with the 6 of Pentacles are then 14, and 14 is your number, and 14 creates the 5, and the 5 was here in 56. The 5 came up here with the 4 and the 1, that's your number. And so you recognize that you are learning through working on your craft, being a master in what you're doing, gives you wings to fly, gives you wings to continue, gives you the aspect of being really creative, because once you know something really deep within you, you can change, you can speak differently, right? It's like you don't have to memorize anymore what you have to say, you just simply say it, and so you become a master, because the sun in Virgo is mastery, and the 8 is that infinite 8, and it's really the Leo telling you, yeah, the 8-8 portal here is bringing you the understanding that you are becoming really good, and that's why you can become really creative. Now the 8 and the 3 zodiac signs is then an 11, a 1-1 portal again. On the position of Temperance comes the High Priestess, right? And so the High Priestess is letting you know 14 and 2 is 16. It's the Tower. which becomes a 7 when we calculate it together. And the 7 is Cancer, right? So there is also Cancer here in this card as a young generation speaking to you. And you recognize now that you are feeling the intuition by combining the opposite energies of water and fire, by melting them. And so the seeker in you knows that intuitive things are coming just the way they're supposed to come to you. Because the Tower is then, when things fall apart, they must fall apart for a reason. And you learn really big time then to become more and more this very intuitive woman that is conscious and that is actually seeking that which that inner light is giving her always, right? She's on her journey always to find that light, and she's looking at you. She's like saying, okay, come with me. Then on the position of the Moon, these are the grandmothers here in this beautiful deck. She's putting the seeds in her head. Now remember, when we looked at the seeds of the Fool, she just pushed or threw those seeds out, and 6 of them landed, and you got the 6 from Gemini, from self-love, to recognize that when you love yourself, money is always in an equilibrium. Money is always then in a melting of energies. And so Pisces, right? The age of Pisces through the Moon is saying, well, then you have that detox, the repairing the body, mind, spirit, the 39, the Empress and the Hermit, bringing the number 12 to you, and the 12th zodiac sign will benefit if you find then here the Piscean age, right? Because the age of Pisces is here in the bathtub, and we are going from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. And so from a water sign we go into an air sign, and here the 9 is then through the 18 calculated together, that moment where you wake up and realize that the dream world is bringing you Pisces, right? Pisces is here in the bathtub and is letting you know, well, then you dream of doing a detox, and detox is always that moment where we let go of that part in us that is too much focused on itself. And so she is bringing you the understanding then through the 12 in the 39 when we calculate it together, that here is the Magician and the High Priestess, the most two powerful energies in the deck, right, on the spiritual level. And then again calculated together, it's the 3. So it's left, right? The 9 and the 3 again is a 12, and then again the 3. So the 3 is left. On the position of the Empress, the 3, came the Magician. So the Magician knows how to take the me talks, how to take that moment and say, okay, I gotta retrieve and heal myself from things that might sometimes be also a little bit intense, because on the position of the Sun, and here in the Sun is the rebirth, the word, right? Here we see the couple and the baby is lying here, and it's just a beautiful deck, right? It's like the sun shines like a child, and you are astonished like a child and shine. And so there comes usually a child on a horse, on a white horse, and look, you are not on the horse anymore. You have gone deep down through the me talks into the eyes, into the purity of the eyes, into the clarity of it, and the number 33 with the 19, which is a 10. becomes a 43, and then a 7 is left. So you recognize that the 7 that came up here through these two, right? You had a 7, and now this is a 7-7 portal, is that you find your intuition deep down within, in your emotions, and it doesn't matter if it's ice cold or if it's flowing and if it's watery. You need water because you are fire and fire, right? All nights are fire. And you are the element fire, so it's fire and fire. For Leo, it's the king, and he is air. All the kings are air. Air and fire, air and water, air and air, air and earth. So water is really good for you, right? It's almost like, yes, allow now to go into whatever water, body of water you want to go, right? It's really important. And it's almost like showing here that the water was doing you good because this lotus flower has come out of it. And so now you're ready to recognize, when you go deep within, you can heal, and then the 7 comes up, and then you can be really successful. Then on the position of the world, which is here the dancer, I am the goal, comes you. Here you fly, and here you run. The horse is free because I have here just from Rider-Waite the Knight of Wands. But you can see how flying now through this deck is bringing you to the place of recognizing you are not anymore sitting on a horse needing to constantly expand. Now you liberate yourself and you free yourself, and here the fireworks are happening, and you're just running into the physical path, right? Into the human path, and you run into the 6 of Pentacles. Again, that moment where you recognize, here is the moment where I recognize that Gemini is speaking to me, right? Back then when Gemini's sun gave your full moon the light, you surrendered, and you still keep surrendering. You still keep letting go of things that you think that you have to be, and you see how he's facing the soul path. Now the horse is running simply into the human path. You're not anymore needing to control this horse with your thighs because that's your body part. You are the horse because you have gone deep down. You have listened, you did the me talks, you have listened to the dream that has come through the grandmother that gave you the seed, the dream. And so here you are, gone deeper and let go, and now the horse is just what continues the journey. You are then dancing. Horses are dancing and are wild. And then here the world, I am the goal, is giving you now the power to be really yourself. And this is coming, of course, through here Leo, right? Because on the position of Leo came the diving deep down, sun in Leo, recognizing the water signs that are helping you to become more emotional and deep and connected, and also recognizing that the feeling of the moon with the high priestess above, right, that has come of the temperance, right, the seeker. When you seek yourself, you immerse yourself in the water, the river that is flowing, and now you are in the bathtub and you are healing yourself. And so when you heal yourself, you almost inspire all the other zodiac signs to heal themselves as well. And so the result is total freedom, right? No more needing to control anything. Now you can go into the human path and be completely free. And then you can allow the wind to come from any direction. This is a 1-1 energy here, right? Because the 56 calculated together is the 11. It's a 1-1 portal. And then the vane, the weathercock, the fluctuation is not anymore there. It's direction. It's a clear direction. You know in which directions you're going, right? You want to go into the human path and take with you all the soul messages that you've gotten, that you've seen from the eagle perspective. Very important to incorporate that and to see that, and now to be completely free. Wow. I hope I see you in the next reading, because then the earth spins in such a way that we see behind the sun the constellation Virgo. There is a 9 here in this card, right? The 9 of recognizing that the Hermit is that inner, deeper knowledge. And remember, you had a 3-3 here, right? It's that portal again, 2 times 3, the creativity in empowering yourself. But Virgo will bring to you more of detox, me-tox, right? And so we will see what then speaks to you. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.